Hi, I'm JJ Conway, and I help hardworking women and a few good men build financial confidence and take ownership of their financial future. I'm cheering you on with education on financial literacy, smart investments, and passive income streams. Welcome to Ladies of Wealth. This is called the value ladder. All right, this is called the value ladder. Okay, so I got this concept from one of my former mentors who helped start the John Maxwell leadership team. Basically, we can teach all of John Maxwell's stuff. We can facilitate and do lunch and learns and work with your corporation to help improve your processes and help your corporation earn more money. So I help people make more money and I help businesses make more money. It's lots of fun. Okay. But one of the things that he told us about John Maxwell is, John Maxwell wanted to get into this certification business where people could take his name and take his work and go out there and do it in corporations. And other companies that license their work like that were charging like $20,000, $35,000, $50,000 to do that certification. And what this mentor of mine said is, well, he said, I had to tell John Maxwell that most people's entry level into you is a $5 to $10 book they got in the airport bookstore. Okay. So entry level, whatever that is for you, you have to understand that you can't make too huge of a jump. Okay. Now, I'm not saying give everything away for free. Now, I believe in giving some things away for free. And the truth be told, I probably give away too much for free. Okay. I probably give away too much for free. But I will never forget when I was in the VA Sister Girls Mastermind, my very first business mastermind I was ever in. And I was planning a conference and I was going to make it free so I could get more people in there. And they were like, if JJ Conway gives away one more free thing, we are kicking her out of the group. So I set my conference ticket price to $25. And I didn't have faith that people were going to pay that, because the speaker lineup was me and 4 people that I had met that none of us were well known. But y'all, we did really well with that for being a first conference. I think we had about 40 people come, and we didn't how do I want to say it? I don't want to go into all that. We had about 40 people come, and that's money I wouldn't have had to actually be able to hire a high quality photographer, to actually be able to hire this, and to be able to hire that and do these things if I hadn't charged for tickets. Okay. But if I, being somebody that wasn't known, started trying to charge $2,500 a pop, nobody was going to buy that. Okay. So you want to have in your value ladder, you want to have something entry level. Now, if nobody knows you yet, then what you do is, we're going to make this the grass here. Okay. You want to do what they call a lead magnet. This is free. I know some of you have already heard this. Just hang with me for a second, okay? You want to start with a lead magnet. That's something for free, okay? So what's a lead magnet? A lead magnet can be your 7 ways to build a business from home, okay? This webinar could be a lead magnet. I could turn this webinar into a lead magnet. Basically, the lead magnet, the purpose of the lead magnet is to, let me get another color here. Oh, I just dropped a lid. Come back here. Okay. The purpose of the lead magnet is to get contact info, and that contact info helps you build a relationship. Now, I have too big of a list to do this now, but for the first 2 years or so of my business, when I was still active duty military and my list was maybe like 200, 225 people up, I mean, once I crossed about 1,000, I couldn't do this anymore. But at 200 and something people, I used to pray for every one of those people once a week. And now I pray for groups. I pray for groups, and I ask if anybody has a prayer request, when I remember to do it. But people send me them. So like I don't have to go out soliciting them anymore. People send them to me. So if I haven't prayed for you in a while, you need to send me your prayer request, because I stay praying, y'all. But you're getting their contact information, and you're putting them into a system that allows you to build a relationship with those people that moves them up the value ladder. Okay. So that's the grass. Okay. I probably could have made that all green, but that's the grass your ladder is on. Okay. And then once you're building that relationship, now you start moving them up the ladder. And so maybe you have the free lead magnet. We've got the Authentic Abundance class. Okay. A free lead magnet might be a webinar on the science of getting rich. That's what this book is based on. Inside this guided study is a reprint of the Science of Getting Rich original version by Wallace D. Wattles. Okay. And so maybe my lead magnet is a webinar, an intro webinar on this. And then maybe the next step, because this is a $500 class, and maybe the next step is a $29 mini class. And maybe I make that like 3 sessions, and I have guidebooks, and I have video and audio. And I like to make my audio downloadable. If you guys have been in my classes for a while, you'll notice that I'm switching providers because SoundCloud is making people create accounts now in order to download. And so I don't like that. Like, you already have to log into my platform in order to download my course. So I don't want you to have to log into mine and then go to somebody else's site and download it. I just want you to be able to click the download button and get it. Okay. But maybe I do a $29 mini course. Maybe it's 3 lessons. Oh, you guys can't really read that. It's 3 lessons. I do a guidebook for each lesson, which is super easy to do with AI now, right? And then you can record it in one of these streaming softwares that offers a free platform, and they will even chop it up, and they will put the subtitles on it for you. I mean, you can do a lot with AI now, even if you don't know how to use it or don't buy into the advanced version of ChatGPT, right? But I just have some videos, and I have some MP3s. I have the videos, and I import the videos into my free Audacity software, and I create MP3s out of them. Like, this is not stuff that costs me any money to do. It costs time. And once you set it up, it's set up. And so some of you might remember my mini class. Oh, I don't remember what it was called. It's the one with the blue ducks. That class was really good for me. I literally recorded that rooming with somebody at John Maxwell, or maybe it was Women in Cloud, or one of the conferences I was at. I recorded that whole class in like an hour. And I had a lot of starts and stops. And so, like, each of the sessions was like 4 or 5 to 7 minutes, but it took about an hour because I had made so many mistakes. But I literally put myself in the one corner of my hotel room that didn't look like a hotel room, filmed the class, put it in the system, because I was going to speak at this conference and I wanted to have something to sell them, and I hadn't had anything to sell them because I wasn't thinking that way. Okay. But maybe you put in a mini class, and then maybe you make it something like $29. I know a very wealthy financial guru who makes her entry level stuff $9. Now, notice what I didn't do. I didn't put entry level with the lead magnet. This is a mistake we do. We feel like people have entered our campus with the free magnet. They have entered our ecosystem, yes, but they are still floating out there in the air. They have not walked into the building of our business yet. They are just there. They are there, and if something free comes along, they'll do it, but they're just kind of floating along, bouncing around to all the different free 99 stuff that's out there. They have not entered yet. And it's not, I'm not going to have the time today to explain why that's important, but that's important down the line when you're choosing who and how to market to. You need to have an entry level that is a gate to filter out the people who are serious versus the people who are just around for the free samples. Okay. That doesn't mean somebody who's just for the free samples can't become serious, because when I was $800,000 in debt, you better believe I was only for free samples. That was all you were getting out of me, unless you had an affiliate program where I could earn what I needed to buy your classes. All right. So then I've got my mini class. I'm selling it for $29. Okay. And so then the logical next step to that would be a full day class, right? It could be a full day class, or I wonder if you guys will be able to see that. Let's see if y'all will be able to see that. Okay, it might be a full day class, and I might do that at $99. Can y'all see that? If I do that different color, it's hard to see. Well, we'll go with that. I'm just gonna. No, we're not. We're not. That's gonna bother me. Let's try this blue one. I was trying to do rainbow colors, but I don't have an orange. Oh, now this blue and yellow makes green. Okay, so now we've got a kind of a light green there. $99 would be like a logical next step, right? And so in that, I could do all kinds of things. I could do a more deeper class. I could do coaching. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. A lot of people call themselves coaches right now. If you haven't had success with coaching, I wouldn't necessarily try to sell that unless people are already coming to you for it, because everybody calls themselves a coach, and people are kind of burnt out on folks that call themselves a coach, but they don't have any results to back it up. But if you already have results of coaching that you've done and you can provide those testimonials, then yeah, go for it, because it's one of the most empowering things that you'll do for somebody. And it's one of the most fulfilling things that you'll do for somebody, helping coach them to pull the answers they already have in them, help them pull those answers out. It's such a powerful technique. It could be a deeper class. It could be coaching. It could be, give me some suggestions in the chat. Give me some suggestions in the chat. If you have something else that you might have paid $99 for. I have paid $99. Well, I'm kind of frugal. A deeper class. It might be some coaching. Maybe a group mastermind. Okay, group mastermind. Okay. A group mastermind is where you get everybody together. So like maybe, for example, you're studying Think and Grow Rich, which we do as an online mastermind. We do as a group mastermind. We do it on Zoom, and we do streaming like this. So we stream some lessons publicly and the others are behind closed doors. You get a group of people together, you take a chapter a week, and you find out what people learned from the chapter. Now, I will be honest with you. Masterminds are my most difficult moneymaker. Not because people don't buy them. They do, but it's because I don't like the mastermind method of learning. I don't learn well with all of everybody's different opinions. And so if you are like me today and you feel like, well, why would I do a mastermind? You have to remember, it's not about you learning from everybody's opinions. The learn comes from the person themselves reading the content and then applying it to their lives. So that's where these group mastermind can come in. Okay. You're going to get a group together. Maybe that's $99. All right. And so then maybe I'm going to do something. Now there's more rungs I could put in here. Okay. Maybe I do a $299 or a $199. And then, I'm don't have space on the paper to do all the rungs of the ladder that I might like to do. Okay. But maybe the next step is going to be a $499 12-week intensive, or a $499 done with you. Okay, I'm going to put $499 done with you. Okay. Now, when I say done with you, $499 done with you. And if you're watching this, or if you are listening to this as part of the podcast, please, sir, please, ma'am, go out to YouTube so you can see what I'm drawing as a value ladder. I am trying to be as descriptive as I can verbally, but sometimes it's easier to see it. Okay. This done with you is basically you and I are working together one-on-one to create your solution. Okay. And so down here at the lead magnet and the entry level, I am providing you the information that you need, and you're going to take it and run with it and implement it and do it yourself. As we move up the value ladder, now you're getting more of JJ Conway's time. You're getting more of my hands-on. You're getting more of my research. You're getting more of my availability. Okay. And so that's what these done with you solutions would be. Now, this is not a hard or fast rule. I'm just giving you an example for somebody who's just starting out in their business. Okay. But there's a done with you. So maybe your business is providing. Oh, we just bought some from a lady on Etsy who provides domino toppling patterns. So we went in and we did a STEM fair where we had the dominoes and people could knock them down. The kids could build them up and knock them down. She sold patterns to put the dominoes on. And me and my son made some patterns, but we needed more and we needed them faster. And it takes a long time to make those patterns. So maybe that's your business today. Well, that would be her entry level. Would be buying those mini sheets. That was her entry level. The next level up was buying bigger ones. And then the next level up she didn't do, but the next level up could be she could teach you how to make your own and walk you through how to make your own. And you could walk through it with her at your side as you do it. You're doing the work, but she's helping you. Okay. Your client is doing the work, but you're helping them. The next one, we're just gonna put up here maybe a 1997 done for you, or you could do one-on-one coaching for like 12 weeks. You could do a higher level package of where you bring people together. So if I am going to collaborate, I might bring together somebody who's going to help you with your health, because a lot of our wealth is in our health, right? I'll bring somebody in who can help us with our relationships, because we lose a lot of money in dealing with trauma. Like, this sounds good, doesn't it? I'm making it up as I go, but it sounds good. I can bring in these people together, and now you have a comprehensive solution. Comprehensive. Okay, that is really poor spelling in public, but you know what? Y'all don't, it's okay. You get the point, right? So, and then you're just working people up the ladder. But what's working people up the ladder is the relationship that you're building with them. And the relationship that you're building with them, you're building that relationship through email, phone, social media, events, whatever works for you. Okay. You're building that relationship all the way, and you're providing value at each level so that it's not hard for them to jump to the next level. Okay. And then once you get up towards the top of the ladder, and again, the ladder could just go however much, that's when you have your bigger packages, your 10Ks, your 35Ks. I even have, look, if y'all have a big company that you want to create a high performing team, I've even got a 100K 1 week intensive. I would hire another trainer, and we would come in and we would do the personality stuff. We would do the FireB. We would do some John Maxwell leadership education. We would do coaching. We would do all these things. And this value ladder is how you take somebody on a journey, on a pathway for profit. What a lot of us do is we're like, oh, I'm going to start a business. I'm just going to jump right into $4.99. Nobody's ever heard of me. Nobody knows anything about me. Nobody knows my expertise, but I'm going to sell to them for $2,000 because I'm that amazing. You might be that amazing. I wasn't. I had to work people up a value ladder. Okay. And again, I have spent way longer on that. I don't know how these are going to pan out for the podcast. If you are listening as part of the podcast, I beg your indulgence and your grace and your forgiveness. I am still honestly trying to adjust to the new schedule and the new timeline breakdowns that we're doing and the new formats. And there's just a lot of new, and I am the problem. As David said in the Bible, I am the man, or I think that's actually what the prophet said to him. But anyway, I am the one. I am the problem. What is it? Where does it say? No, I don't have it. I don't have it up anymore. Anyway, the buck stops here. Okay. So I'm trying, y'all, and we'll get there. We'll get there one day. It's a work in progress. Okay. So I appreciate your grace and your perseverance and your patience. Okay. So that's key number 2, profit pathways. You want a profit pathway that they can pay you easily. You want a profit pathway that takes them up the journey. Let me say one more thing. About this value ladder. Okay. This value ladder you know, along this way, you can have like, this is where you get, this is where, down here is standard down at the bottom. And then all the way up to the ladder. The higher you get up the ladder, the more custom. Okay. So standard stuff at the bottom. This mini class is what it is. I don't change it because you came onto my platform. But when we get up the chain, if I, you know, I have for my success strategies class, okay, for my success strategies class, I have a version for musicians, and we kick that off in every February after the Texas Music Educator conference. Then I have another version for summer. That's our summer success series, right? Then I have another version for everybody. I will customize that slightly by offering different versions, cycling through it, starting it every year, right? Well, then the more custom it is, the higher price points you can do. And so some of us have crafts, and I'm thinking of someone who did wreaths, and I'm thinking of somebody else who did crocheting. Now, the crochet dolls is really big right now, but it wasn't big 10 years ago, okay? When I first met this young lady. And with the wreaths, I quickly discovered that the ladies who were doing the custom Steelers wreaths and your college and special things like that, you choose the colors on, they were able to command higher prices. But the lady who was crocheting stuff, she was trying to commit. Okay, let's be real. Nobody's paying $19.97 for a wreath. They're not even paying $4.99 for a wreath unless it's made with all fresh materials. Okay, so they're really down here. They're really down here. Like, this is the highest. I think the wreath I bought was like $35, and it was one of our highest ones. But so the ladder concept, yes, these numbers not for this business. Okay, but the problem was the person who did the crocheting, she wanted to charge the high prices that are equivalent to her time that she put in and the quality of the materials that she purchased for the project. The problem for her is people aren't going to pay $50 for a crochet pot holder when they can go to Walmart and get a silicone one for like $5. And she's like, but I put so much time and effort and materials into this. And I was like, that's not going to fly. The only way you are going to be able to get back, if at all, because I kind of thought that maybe her choice of materials was too upscale for the clients she was trying to sell to. But that, you know, she didn't hire me for that. She didn't actually, you know, that wasn't what we were talking about at the time. Okay. So I always, when I consult with somebody, I look for the biggest bang for the buck that we can get first. And if you buy more time later, then we'll dig into more issues. But that doesn't mean I don't see all the issues. I see all the issues. I see a lot of the issues. I may not see 100% of the issues, but in that first meeting, I can usually see about 90% of them. But we always focus on the biggest one first, because if you never come back to me, well, actually, let me rephrase that. That was about to come out wrong. When you see the impact that we made, you will come back because we made such impact right there. And one easy thing that you could easily tweak. Okay. So with her, it was like, okay, well, the way you're going to be able to command higher prices in this space is to offer customization. So instead of creating a whole bunch of crochet pot holders and bringing them to the trade show and hoping somebody likes what you have, transform that into a culture where people are pre-ordering and they meet you at the trade show to pick it up. Why am I using something that doesn't apply to what I just spent 20 minutes talking about? Because some of you have craft-based businesses, or you have businesses that we're pouring a lot of love into whatever it is that you are producing. Okay. You have to understand what you're competing against. You know, even I wasn't making the pageant dresses, but the little $80 to $100 pageant dresses that I used to sell out of my basement, people don't wear those to church anymore. If they do, they wear fancy dresses at Easter, but they're not paying $80 for a pageant dress. They're paying $10 for a Walmart dress. And that pageant dress at $80 maybe only cost me $25, but still, if they're only paying $10 at Walmart, I'm not going to make that sale unless I can do something with that dress that elevates it in the eyes of the buyer. Okay, so even if you have a craft business, you still have to think about what kind of value ladder that you have. And if you can't get something down here at the low price points where people are willing to take a chance on you and spend their money when they don't know of you yet, then maybe you can find alternative things at those lower price points. Maybe I saw somebody on here. I don't know if she still does it, but she had the coolest artwork, y'all. And I don't know how much she was charging for it. I'm imagining that each one of those beautiful custom pieces was probably like between $500 and $1,000. I don't know. I never asked her. If you're still on, tell people about your painting business if you're still doing it. Okay, she might have already left, but just in case, she had these beautiful artworks. Okay, if you are doing something custom like that, luxury like that, well, then your value ladder starts at a higher point. But maybe you don't want to only start at a higher point until you get a big name. Maybe you want to do something at a lower point, like have an epoxy class and teach people how to do that. Okay. Teach people how to do it. Oh, here we go. 2270.com. Let's check it out, y'all. Let's analyze this real quick. I hope it's okay if I put you on the spot like that, okay? So she has this original art. This is just so beautiful, okay? It's so beautiful. And a custom geode painting, $200. Wind painting, like that's an excellent way that's an excellent lead magnet right there. It doesn't cost anything to enter this contest and win this painting. All right. Now, sometimes people are going to want something of value right away. So I'm not going to suggest it for this business because I haven't sat down and looked at her financials to see if this is working for her. But if you have a similar business, you might have a loss leader that's something like, the properties of the qualities of the artwork you have in your home. Like, for example, if you're using different crystals and stuff. Oh, I know. We don't get into woo-woo stuff here. We always do everything in this channel. We always do everything in accordance with scripture. But it is a very real scientific fact that certain minerals and crystals can impact the air around you and the world that you walk in. Plants can impact it. Fragrances, people poo-poo essential oils, but even if they're really well done, essential oils and certain crystals and things, we're not invoking anything, we're not protecting against anything, but just from a scientific standpoint of filtering the air and providing minerals and chemicals and things like into the air, some of the things that you bring in can actually help improve your outlook, your mental state, and all that. So if you had a business that used some of that material, and I have not looked at this business to know if we have what's working or what isn't working, but I might put something like, the 3 reasons, the 3 ways artwork enhances your ability to concentrate or helps you make more money or something. I don't know. I'm just making it up. And this time's not as good as the other times I made it up. The other times I was making it up was actually amazing. Okay. But this one's not so much. Okay. So we have the original art. Okay. Look at how beautiful these things are. Okay. And so maybe you don't want to have, I like that, the sapphire one. Maybe you don't want to have, maybe you don't want to have just, what do I want to say? You know what? I need to get one. I have a new office we're opening up. I'm sorry. I love this lady, y'all. I do. She was one of my very first friends, very, very first adult friends. So, but you know what? If you have didn't mean to do that. If you have a business, I meant to click here. We can go on your business too. Okay. But maybe what you do, is you have, she has all the information here, which I love. Too many people don't have the information that they love. So you don't know what, and you wonder, are they gonna, did I hit everything yet? You wonder if they're actually going to be fly by night with your money. Wait, Please tell me I put it back on her. Okay, good. All right. So, but maybe you have intro classes on techniques and you say, well, why would I want to train up my competition? Well, the reality is the people that you would teach for $99 how to make their own small epoxy work or small gemstone work piece, they're probably not the people who are going to buy a custom piece from you. It's a different clientele until you build a relationship and they're like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Or they're like me, oh my goodness, this is harder than I thought it was. I'm going to pay somebody else to do this. I really love art. Anyway, I hope that makes sense, y'all, because I'm just making that up on the fly. I just wanted to highlight her art. I love to support people who have been supportive to me. And so you want to have a pathway. You need to have a journey. You cannot just hit me with $1,000 piece of art unless you are a big name. Now, and you don't have to be a big name nationally. If you're selling, this is not me talking to her. Okay. This is not me talking to her. Okay. This is me talking to all of us. If you are well known in your area, and you can get away with selling stuff for $1,000 a pop right off the bat, go for it. Make your money. But you have to know the area that you're in and create a pathway to get people to where you want them. When I was in Louisiana, I found out real quick, the financial planning I was doing in DC for $249 an hour was not going to fly in Louisiana. The most I could get out of people there was about $25 an hour. And right before COVID, I was finally working up to about $99 an hour. Well, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not trying to be that bougie, but I have free classes on Thursday nights, so I don't have to take clients at $25 an hour one-on-one. Because to me, by the time I do all my research before the appointment, and by the time I write up the homework after the appointment, and by the time I put it in the portal for you to download, like I'm making less than minimum wage, and I didn't get into business to make less than minimum wage, and neither did you.
Don't forget to like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and ask your question at ladiesofwealth.com.